Desperate for work, I took a high-paying cleaning job at a mansion with strange instructions. No owners, just a key under the doormat. But when I stepped inside, my stomach dropped. The place was wrecked, almost on purpose. And just as unease crept in, the front door unlocked. I never thought I'd find myself mopping filth off someone else's floor. But life has a way of throwing curveballs when you least expect them. One minute you're sitting in your corner office, crunching numbers and planning your kids' college funds. The next, you're staring at an email that might as well say, "Game over. We regret to inform you that effective immediately, the company is ceasing all operations." I read those words 20 times, my coffee going cold beside my keyboard. 14 years of loyalty, gone in a single paragraph. The company was bankrupt. No severance. No warning. Not even a goodbye handshake. I immediately applied for every job opening in my field that I could find. My husband Jerry kept saying things like, "Something better will come along," and "Everything happens for a reason." But watching our bank account drain while rejection emails flooded my inbox, that hits differently. Each night I'd lie awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering how we'd gotten here. "You know," Jerry said one evening, trying to sound casual as he sorted through another stack of bills, "my mom keeps offering to help." I sat up straighter, my jaw clenching. "We are not taking money from Brenda." "Monica, come on. She means well." "Does she?" Shot back. "Like when she told everyone at our wedding that you could have done better. Or when she sent me that article about working mothers and childhood development." "No, she just wants to rub salt in my wounds." Jerry sighed but didn't argue. He knew as well as I did that his mother had never approved of me. In her eyes, I was just the accountant who'd stolen her precious son away from the society girls she'd picked out for him. Soon I couldn't sleep. The sound of bills sliding through our mail slot made my stomach clench. Our youngest needed new shoes. The car payment was coming up. I couldn't wait for a successful job application anymore. I needed money fast. "I'm going to join an online platform that advertises services," I told Jerry one morning, my hands wrapped around a cup of cheap coffee. "For cleaning." He reached across the table and squeezed my hand. "Monica, you don't have to. We need the money," I cut in. "And work is work, right? So long as it helps pay the bills, what does it matter if I'm cleaning up homes or balancing books?" The words felt hollow, but I filled in the application to join the cleaning service anyway. The minute I got a notification that my application for cleaning work was successful, I sighed and put my head in my hands. I truly didn't mind the work, it was just... This wasn't how I pictured my life turning out. 30 minutes later, my phone pinged. "Mansion cleaning needed. One-time job. $800. I blinked at the screen. $800 for one day's work. The message went on to explain that the keys would be under the doormat, and I wouldn't need to meet the owners. Something about that made my skin prickle, but desperation has a way of drowning out common sense. "I'll take it," I replied. The cleaning service sent me the address within seconds. The house looked normal enough from the outside. Massive, sure, but well-maintained with neat hedges and fresh paint. I lifted the doormat and took the key. But when I unlocked the door, the exorbitant price I was offered suddenly made sense. The stench hit me first. Rotting food mixed with something worse, something that reminded me of the time our fridge died during a summer vacation. Then my eyes adjusted to the dim light, and I nearly dropped my cleaning supplies. Looked like a war zone. There was garbage everywhere, torn bags spilling their contents across marble floors. Clothes lay scattered across the floor, heavily stained, some ripped like they'd been torn apart by angry hands. Even the walls hadn't been spared. There were smears of what looked like ketchup and mustard creating bizarre abstract patterns. In the kitchen, dishes towered in precarious stacks, fuzzy with mold. "What the hell?" I whispered. What sort of people live like this?" This wasn't a normal, casual sort of messy, it was more like something out of a reality show. But $800 is $800. I pulled on my gloves, tied a bandana around my nose and mouth, and got to work. With each piece of garbage I picked up and each plate I scrubbed, I thought about Jerry and the kids, about how this money would help keep us afloat just a little longer. Hours passed in a blur of scrubbing and sweating. And the longer I worked, the more I started to notice signs this disgusting mess had been created on purpose. There were clear finger marks in the smeared condiments on the walls, some of the clothes were cut with scissors, and the garbage bags were deliberately torn. But why? Who would do this to their own home? The answer came with the click of the front door. I turned, rag in hand, to face the people who'd done this to their own home. I was expecting some wildly eccentric wealthy couple who didn't know one end of a broom from the other, or maybe a minor celebrity with serious issues, but instead I saw a face I knew all too well. Well, well, well. Her voice dripped with satisfaction as she stepped through the door. I always knew you'd end up scrubbing floors. Isn't this fitting? The mighty accountant, reduced to cleaning up after her betters. Standing there on my freshly mopped floor, wearing a smirk that could curdle milk, was Brenda, my mother-in-law, who looked like the evil witch from a TV show. Behind her loomed a distinguished-looking man. His silver hair perfectly styled. His suit probably worth more than my car. My stomach lurched. Brenda, what is this? She stepped closer, her perfume mixing with the lingering stench of garbage. Oh, don't act so surprised, dear. You applied for this job. I just arranged for you to get it. She gestured around the room with manicured fingers. Consider it a lesson in humility. The truth hit me like a physical blow. Trashed house. The mysterious job offer. The too good to be true pay. This wasn't a cleaning job. This was a trap. You went through all this effort just to embarrass me. My voice shook with rage. Brenda laughed, the sound like breaking glass. Effort, please. This was fun. My darling Richard, she gestured vaguely to the man behind her, asked me to hire a new cleaner for his house while he was away on business, and when I saw you pop up on the cleaning service app, well, it was pure serendipity. She leaned in close then, dropping her voice to a whisper. I've been waiting for this moment since my son married you. Finally, you're right where you belong. Seriously. I couldn't help but laugh. I made 6 figures before the bankruptcy, Brenda. More than Jerry. But you never bothered to learn anything about me, did you? Oh, please, she scoffed. We both know you're not good enough for my son. Look at you now, a cleaning lady. Just like I always said you'd end up. Brenda thought she'd won, but she'd made one crucial mistake. While she was savoring her moment of triumph, I watched her boyfriend's face change. His eyes moved from the now clean living room to the few remaining piles of garbage, confusion evident in every line of his face. Brenda had said he was away, hadn't she? He clearly had no idea what was going on here, and I figured it was time somebody filled him in. Slowly, I removed my phone and pulled up the photos I'd taken when I first arrived. I always document my work, old habits from my accounting days, I guess. I held the screen up so he could see the photos. This is what this place looked like when I arrived to clean it today, I told him, swiping through pictures. His expression shifted from confusion to shock. Once I reached the end of the photos, I turned back to Brenda. I don't need a penny from you, I declared. Then I walked out head high. Brenda was still grinning victoriously, but if she'd glanced at her darling Richard, she might have noticed the look of bewilderment and disgust he was giving her. I started typing an email to the cleaning agency on my phone. I was going to report Brenda for what she'd done and hopefully ensure the agency blocked her from using their services. I thought that would be the end of it, but I was wrong. The next morning my phone buzzed. Payment notification. $1,600. Double the promised rate. Then a text. It's a little tip from me. I really value hard work. Brenda has moved out. I won't be living with someone like this. Richard. But the story doesn't end there. Richard started asking questions about my background. When he learned about my accounting experience, he offered me a job on the spot. Turns out he owns several successful businesses and needed someone to manage his finances. Now I'm back in an office, earning more than I did at my old job. My kids have new shoes and our bills are paid. And Brenda, once I told Jerry what his mother had done, He cut her off entirely. Last I heard, she was living in a small apartment across town, alone with her bitterness and schemes. When the entitled Mitchells demanded that I remove some garbage from the garage of my late parents' home, I begrudgingly complied. But a week later, once they realized the true value of those items, they called and begged me to return them. I couldn't resist the opportunity to teach them a lesson.